Here we have a new 2024 Nissan Rogue. This one comes in the SV trim level with front wheel drive. This beautiful color is Baja Storm Metallic. And then we have charcoal cloth interior. Now for the powertrain, we get a 1.5 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, made it to the Xtronic CVT. That gets us 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque. Now as we come around to the front end here, just a slight refresh for the 24 model year. Basically the grille, but LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and the daytime running lights do not flash like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But still a pretty good design here since it got its full redesign. I think it was 2021. Down here to the wheels, these are gonna be 18-inch alloy, and I love the design on these in particular, especially with this Baja Storm. It looks very rugged. Almost reminds me of the Rock Creek on the Pathfinders. To the door panel here, power door locks, power mirrors, power windows, electronic rear window lock there. We do get blind spot monitors in the mirror on this one. Illuminated kick plate, nice touch there. And there's the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. And even though these are cloth seats, I like the design. I like how they kind of fit, how they feel. Now over here, we have our steering assist button, auto stop, lift gate button. That's how we get to the cargo space. Then we have a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel, and then storage underneath the actual shifter here, which we'll get to it in a minute. Now I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's see how I would sit behind myself in the back seat. So pretty good space back here. Knees are just barely brushing the back of the seat. Seat back pocket is on the passenger side seat. And then we have rear AC vents, 2 USB-C charge ports, and there's a view of the front from back here. Middle seat, grab that, fold down, bottle holders are there. And then we have a grab handle with a hook there if you want to hang a dress shirt or something like that. Now, as we come around to the back end, love that design as well. And I like the kind of, I guess it's almost like a titanium or like a metal gray. I like that badging there, again, with this Baja Storm Metallic. Rear parking sensors integrated in that bumper. Exhaust system there. And then we do have a power lift gate, so just hold that button, it'll open by itself. And then pretty good space back here. This one does come with all-weather floor mats. They just have not been installed yet. And then spare is underneath there. This one also has the first aid kit. And then hit that button to close it. Capless fuel filler. And then to the rear passenger side, I'll show you how the seat folds. Just grab this here. It'll fold flat when the seat up front is up far enough, and you can run longer objects through. And then pretty easy to just snap it back into place. And then I like that we have this little seat belt holder there for when you're pulling the seat back and forth. Now, a big shout out to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, for allowing me to review this Rogue today. I'll leave a link below in the description. This one is on sale, and if you're looking for the best deal on a Rogue or any vehicle, new vehicle in your area, make sure you click on the link below and then just fill out that info so I can get somebody in contact with you to get you the best pricing available. But sticker price $33,170. And then here we have our manual front passenger seat. Glove compartment, pretty decent size, I think. Now, as we come back around to the front, actually, I want to show you all this because this is always interesting to me. Just the parts makeup. Nissan and Toyota does a pretty good job at putting these on here. I think Ford does too. And you can actually see the parts content. It has its own separate sticker. I think GM actually puts theirs on the window sticker. I'm not 100% on everybody else, but there's that VC turbo 3-cylinder. And for those that were curious, the VC does stand for variable compression. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice vinyl wrap steering wheel here, and even though it's kind of like a plastic feel, it still feels pretty nice, and I like the flat bottom as well. That's what the horn sounds like. Now to the radio, we do get this 8-inch screen that includes AM, FM, and then we also have XM radio along with Bluetooth audio, and we have wireless CarPlay, or not wireless CarPlay, but wired CarPlay, wired Android Auto compatibility. And then in the radio stations, you can actually just hold these for the preset. So if I want to go to, let's say 99.7, I can hold right there, and then it'll put it in there for me. And then same thing with XM, so on and so forth. And then for your settings, those are in there. So connections can be fooled with there, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. And then you have your others section, and you can change your language or your units of measurement in there. Let's look at the home page. You can scroll through all of that if you so choose and customize it. Backup camera's there, guidelines follow you, just turn the steering wheel. Volume knob is here, and then you can click that, turn the audio off. Then you have a tune knob here. Click that for the sound. You can adjust the bass and whatever, or you can actually go into the settings and adjust it that way. Hazards are here. Dual zone automatic climate controls. You have a knob for each side, and fan speed can be adjusted there. Fan direction, hit that button there. 2 USB-C ports. You can also run the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto off of that while charging. 12 volt there. And then for the shifter, hit this button, pull down for drive. You can tap for manual, and you'll get those simulated shifts by using these paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Hold up for neutral, and then hit the button, pull all the way up for reverse. And you have that push button park there. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Auto hold, you can just toggle that on or off if you want the car to kind of stay at stop at a stoplight while you take your foot off the brake. And then we do have different drive modes here. So sport, standard, and eco, which you can toggle on the fly just by toggling that up or down. Center console cubby space, decent size for the segment, I think. And I like we have a little tray here if you want to like put a phone or iPod there. There's a look at the back from up here. SOS is there, lights, sunglasses holder, and then the rear vanity mirror. And that light comes on or off as you open the lid, which I like. Now back to the steering wheel. Auto high beams can be toggled by hitting that button there, or they call it the high beam assist. And then you can toggle the high beams or flash there. Headlamps can be adjusted there. And then you have your intermittent wipers. So one time off, and then intermittent low, high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency here, and then your rear wiper intermittent on there. Push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. Now we do get the Pro Pilot Assist, so you can turn on the adaptive cruise and adjust that. Gap adjust can be adjusted there, Bluetooth, voice recognition, and then volume control, the track list, radio station presets can be adjusted there. And this goes through your shortcut menu, and the scroll bar and these arrows go through the actual gauge cluster menus that are available. So you have tire pressure monitors, you can look at fuel economy, even the variable compression of the turbo there, and then trip meters, everything else that you'd expect. And then your settings are in here, and you can fool with that as well if you want to go through your vehicle settings, eco mode settings, so on and so forth. Push button starts there. Here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Rogue SV out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Rogue, the 1.5 3-cylinder, it's just crazy how you get those kind of power specs out of a 3-cylinder engine. Again, 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque it's just insane to me to get that in an engine that small, a stock engine that small at that. Now it does get up to speed pretty easily. And with this having a CVT, it's a seamless driving feel, but it just doesn't seem right as opposed to having a traditional transmission. But there's a reason you can get 30 miles per gallon city, 37 highway with a turbocharged 3-cylinder. I should say really with 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque. So you really get the best of both worlds. depending on what you're trying to do. But the standard drive mode is pretty normal. It's what you'd expect driving one of these. It's very easy to handle just with your foot. The sport mode, it'll take off, and we'll test that getting on the interstate. And the eco mode is just good for basically the interstate, just cruising there. But an overall quiet ride here. And then I like that we have the lane keep assist, so as I'm even on these lighter lines, I start to go out of the right side a little bit. It kind of pinged me back in and let me know, hey, you're going out of the lines, which is nice. So to set the cruise, you kind of have to hold it down once everything is activated. And I don't know why I wasn't wanting to start it at first, but maybe I did something wrong. But even on this road here, I wouldn't recommend it because the lines are very faded, but the lane centering will keep you in place. Now it's mostly for the interstate, and it's still, at least on the 2019 models, it's not 100% accurate. That's why you want to keep your hands on the wheel. But I feel that it's gotten better over the past few years, and I've said that in some of the older reviews of like the 21, 22 Rogue. But I also like this lane keeping system because I actually don't mind having my hands on the wheel. It kind of just gives you a little bit of play there, so you can actually move the wheel, but it's still steering for you. It's not like you give it a little ping and all of a sudden it cuts off like most other systems. But it rides very well. The space in here is incredible, I think, for such a small SUV. And it's not necessarily tiny, but they really didn't maximize space here. I feel like the wheelbase makes it easier to drive. The interior room in here is just nuts. Headroom, I have several inches of headroom, probably more headroom than I'm used to having in some of the bigger SUVs like Tahoe, Sequoias. But you're able to adjust this power seat pretty nicely. And then again, like I said earlier, the rear leg room was phenomenal, and the rear headroom just for someone of my size. Now we're gonna put it in the sport mode and give it a bit of pull getting on the interstate here. All right, here we go. So pretty good acceleration with minimal effort. Very impressed. Gonna put in an eco mode now and then let the Pro Pilot do its thing. Now, pretty smooth ride coming down the interstate here. Again, you're getting 37 miles per gallon EPA estimate on your highway fuel economy, which is phenomenal. And what makes it such a good buy is this is also something that's easy to drive daily. You get incredible fuel economy just in city driving, but there's such good space in here. You're able to fold the seats flat and all of that. If you want to take it on a road trip, you can, or if you want to take just longer trips in terms of the ride quality and the overall driver's suite, you get quite a bit for this mid-30s price point, I think. And just how the market is now, like I said earlier, you can get one of these and not have to pay sticker or over sticker because of the chip shortage and all of that. So one more shout out to John Roberts Nissan. They have a pretty extensive inventory of Rogues here in Manchester, Tennessee. And if you're looking for maybe a different new vehicle or one of these that's closer to home, definitely make sure you check out the link below in the description on my site, fill out the information, and we'll get somebody to contact you and just make sure that they're giving you the best price available to earn your business. So one of the perks of checking out the channel here, but I appreciate you all watching. I think this is again a decent buy, even though it's seen as a small SUV. It doesn't act like one, from the power to the fuel economy to the features you get, the safety assist. It's just an overall good SUV. And if you're worried about a 3-cylinder variable compression turbocharged engine or the Xtronic CVT, for your peace of mind, extended warranties are offered. Some places have lifetime powertrain warranties. So I mean, as long as you own the vehicle, you won't have to worry about that. And it's good if you want to keep a car for 250,000 miles. If you're worried the engine goes out at 120 or 130,000 miles, then, you know, you can get you a new one. But again, the Rogue is impressive. Ever since they did the redesign in 21, this is something that I actually would consider driving. And with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Nissan Rogue SV.